Neoclassical art by David Fabiano. Neoclassical art is art that took place during the 18th to 19th century, the time when Greek/Roman culture was heavily influenced. It included sharp edges, line over color, and in front of picture plane art. The artistic movement that reflects qualities of ancient Greek and Roman philosophy, culture, and art. The style focuses on ideal human for as opposed to less than perfect shape of real people. Every feature was rendered to perfection and a sense of cool, calm, and collected. My three artists from this topic are Jacques-Louis David, followed by Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, and ended with Francisco Goya. The five paintings in this topic are The Oath of Ferrati, The Death of Marat, The Sleep Reasons Produces Monsters, The 3rd of May 1808, and The Painting of Louis Bertin. Jacques-Louis David, date of birth 30th of August 1748, died at the age of 77, born in Paris, France, and his profession before painting was an influencer. These are photos of Jacques Louis throughout the years. From the age of 1789, so pretty old, but not that old, to 1794, and then the oldest one at the bottom. As you can tell, he has a bad sense of hair. One of many of his famous paintings was The Oath of Ferrati. Completion date 1784, on oil on canvas. Size 329.8 centimeters by 424.8 centimeters. It's currently in the Louvre in Paris, France. The contents of the photo shows three brothers showing their loyalty to Rome before a battle. As you can see, there's lots of shadows. The lighting is a stage lit light, which is meaning the background is much darker and the people in front are much closer and it looks more bright. There's no lines and there's more focus or an emphasis on color than lines in the photo. The detailing on the arms and the humans are very well done, almost to perfection. Most likely done on wax figures or actors. Things that relate to this painting with the other ones are common elements such as sharp edges/lines, stage lit, and the fact that you never let your brushstrokes show. Make it look natural and look like it's a real life painting with emotion. The Death of Marat. Completion date 1973. It was made on oil and canvas and it was 165 centimeters by 128 centimeters. It's currently in the Royal Museum of Fine Arts in Belgium. This painting shows a reporter who was stabbed while in the bath. This reporter has a skin disease that caused him to be in the bath for most of the time during the day. So often he would be in the bath making journals or writing. This painting had a lot of emphasis on the stage lit idea. In the background you see the dark colors, and in the front you see the guy up close to you with very vibrant colors making him pop out, showing like he's on a stage performing. One of the common elements in this painting is the fact that it has sharp edges. As you see on his body and on the bed, it looks like there's very sharp edges and there's drapery from the blankets. Another famous painting by Jacques-Louis David was Death of Socrates, depicting the last moments of the great Greek philosopher and is considered one of the great masterpieces. Interesting fact about Jacques Louis is his most expensive painting was $7.2 million, sold at Christie's in 1986 for 17.2 million USD. The painting sold was the portrait of Ramal de Nogaret. The next artist is Francisco Goya. Date of birth 30th of March 1746. He was born in Spain, and before he was a professional painter. He worked for almost 60 years of his life, which is a pretty long time. These are photos of Francisco Goya throughout the years. When he started painting, he started as a royalist. He started working for the government. And then he got sick, so throughout the years he started looking weirder and his paintings started having more emotion and turning more into romanticism. The name of this artwork is The Sleep Reasons Produce Monsters. It was completed in 1799 and it was made from etching. The size was 21.5 by 15 centimeters and it's currently in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The art style of this painting is not only neoclassicism, but it's also romanticism. This is due to the fact of the emotion in the painting. You see the guy sitting on his desk looking sad, and then all the faces of the monsters are very curious or evil looking. It shows depth in the photo. The artist's nightmare, which was portrayed in the painting, was a view on the Spanish society, which was portrayed in the painting as demented. The work includes an owl that represents folly and bats that symbolize ignorance. This painting was made using etching, which means it was made of two colors, black and white, and shades of black and white. So the depth is shown very uniquely in how the lighter up front and the darker all the way back. This is similar to all the other paintings as it is also stage lit. Yet the difference is that it's romanticism. The next painting is the 3rd of May 1808. Completion date was 1814 and it was an oil on canvas. Size of it was 268 centimeters by 347 centimeters and it's currently in the Museo del Prado de Madrid. Once again, this painting had a touch of neoclassicism and romanticism. As you can see in the background, it's very dark and there's very little happening besides a castle. Yet, the romanticism takes place in the emotion put onto the faces of the people who are about to get shot and killed. The story behind this painting is that the people fearing their leaders, people in Spain, rose up against the army and were brutally oppressed. That is what is shown in the image, how they are getting shot and murdered due to their rebellion. The value in this painting is very dark and it has stage lighting. There's many special features that are not noticed in the painting, such as the lights coming off the gun barrels and the church in the background, which represents a blind eye that's turned to the authorities. Other famous paintings from Goya is Charles IV of Spain and his family, and the Black Duchess. Interesting fact, the most expensive painting from Goya is 4.5 million euros, which is 7.1 million USD. It was of the famous canvas of a bullfight called the Suert de Varas. My next artist is Jacques Augustin Ingres. He was born on the 29th of August in 1780. He was born in France, and his profession before was a portrait painter and a draughtsman. He was from the city France. For almost 80 years of his life, he was painting, which is a very long time, comparing that most people's lives were not that long. Throughout the years, this is how Jean Augustin looked. He was a very French-looking dude. The painting of Louis Bertin. It was completed on 1832 and it was an oil on canvas painting. It was 116 by 94 centimeters wide, width and length, and it's currently in the Museum of the Louvre. This painting was also a neoclassical painting, yet it had a hint of romanticism. As you can see in the face of Louis, he had a lot of emotion, and you kind of see his personality through the painting. Well, that's what Ingres was trying to portray with his portraits. All his portraits would capture the people's personality and accomplishments just in one portrait. As you can see in the painting, his hand positions show power and stature, and then show that he is pride. The smooth textures on his skin is appreciable and includes a lot of different depths and tone. This painting is also a stage-lit painting. As you can see in the background, it's a much calmer tone that looks back. When you are in the front, you can see the light off his face and the reflection in his eyes. You see the stature that he is sitting at and the profession in his facial gestures. Interesting fact about when Ingres would do a portrait, he would always go and visit the person's house very often to gain the view of his personality and his stature. So he would go visit Louis almost every day and talk to him and sit with his family. Another famous painting from Ingres was an artwork named Napoleon on his Imperial Throne. It was completed in 1806 and it was an oil on canvas. It's currently in the Musée de l'Animé in Paris. This was a photo of Napoleon on his throne as he was the ruler of France at the time. Also, another one is the Opidius and the Sphinx, which is completion date of the 1808 to 1827, which took a long time, and it was an oil on canvas. It's currently held in the Louvre in Paris. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you learned some stuff about neoclassical art style.